Hi everyone, this is Junkin Johnny from Man with a Mission, and I'm hanging out with Rob from Front for Life.
First of all, I just want to jump in and congratulate you on more than a decade of being in this industry as a band. I feel like that is something that not only is it challenging, but it's hard to kind of stay true to yourself over the years. For you as a band and for you in particular, like how have you been able to stay true to yourself over the years as you experience new things, new experiences, bigger shows, bigger fans?
I guess it's probably because the bottom line never changed because we are we are creators of music, but at the same time, probably a huge fan of rock music as well. So that has never changed ever since I listened to music. So even in these 10, 11 years, that's the bottom line. That never changes, uh, will not change forever. So probably it's not a hard thing for us to continue going on.
And at the same time, you just released your sixth album. So being that you have this longevity in this career, you're constantly writing new material, you're constantly trying new guitar riffs, new instrumentation. How do you not run out of material, and how do you keep your material fresh every time?
Listening to probably new music that's going on all over the world, and also enjoying that everybody is trying new stuffs at the same time, but also inheriting what was going on in the older days. It's always really exciting to listen to new items, but at the same time kind of feeling the history of the music that it holds. And I guess that's what we really wanted to write our items. So um, every creation, it's always about looking to new stuff, but also looking backwards.
Now, you personally, what did you learn about yourself over the years? Especially like now when you're in the studio recording new vocals or writing new material. What is one thing that you see that you've kind of discovered about yourself that you really didn't expect before in the beginning?
What I discovered by myself, that I am truly a huge fan of what I've listened to, especially all of the influences that come to my music is probably what was going on in the 90s, the alternative guitar rock movement, also described as grunge, maybe. And that motivation, that libido that I've ever since holded from that time, that has never changed. And probably that's one of the most biggest discoveries that I had in during this decade. And at the same time, I was also relieved by discovering that, because people. Well, I'm a wolf, but people never come from something that you've never experienced. But I was really relieved that what I'm doing right now is what was I made from.
So with the sixth album that just recently dropped, can you dive me into the creative process? What made it so different this time around? And for you as a songwriter, how did you step out of your comfort zone to create an even better record this time?
I guess what we're facing right now, the whole world right now, the situation that everybody's facing right now, well, not literally helped us, but kind of drive us to have to give a message even to ourselves that we must keep on going even during the situation. The common message, even in this first album and also the sequel, the second album, we're probably going to still keep on sending that message to everybody, but at the same time to ourselves. And that's probably the main, theme of what we're creating right now.
I definitely love the anthemic vibe and sound you have on this record. I love the mixtures. You could tell that all members are putting in their kind of experiences in music, their influences, coming together and putting all your different influences into the music that you create today. How do you guys mesh that up in the studio?
It's kind of really free what we do. We always never deny what all the members wanted to. We try to combine it and try and error. Try that, maybe not good enough. Try this. Yeah, it's always thinking about what the other members want to do, but at the same time trying to combine it and make it something that the songwriter himself didn't expect. Creating new stuff. It's always about like that.
Now, when it comes to harmonies, I love the harmonies between your vocals and Tokyo Tanaka's vocals. How does that kind of work for you guys in the studio? Is this something that you guys start thinking about during the writing process, or is this something that you guys start working on during the recording process of the album?
We ourselves are big fans of the harmony, the melody as well, and our band has two vocals, so we always focus on uh, trying to make it sound like a song that a person can also sing, but at the same time, try to make it persuasive enough for a different vocals sing it on. So I guess it always happens from the start.
Coming into this record, you guys wanted to do a double album. So far, you've released part one, but coming into it, did you already know the identity of this record, or was that something that was discovered as you guys were writing and recording new material?
I guess it's something that we've discovered during writing this, but as I said, the first motive was to release something big. Since it's been 3.5 years since we last released our latest one, and everybody's facing a pretty hard time right now, so we wanted to make something huge and maybe something that really enlightens everybody's everyday life during this situation. So yeah, it's growing more and more as we're working on the second one too.
And I love that when you listen to this record, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's very anthemic. It's, I see this in a stadium, obviously, and I feel it as a concert. But as an artist, when you're writing and recording music, but not being able to have that live aspect because of the situation going on right now, how much of a challenge was that kind of being able to create the sound that you did for this album?
Well, it's never hard for us to do that because imagination is the most beautiful thing that human beings, werewolves, but human beings have. Just imagining what we can do if the crowd was there. We've done that for all ever since we've formed a band. We've always think about playing this song in front of millions of people. That imagination is the most powerful thing that anybody could hold. So it's never a hard thing to do.
And when it comes to the mixed verses or lyrics that are, both Japanese and English, obviously it's a language barrier. So when you're actually writing these lyrics, do you find yourself changing your Japanese lyrics in order to fit the English lyrics in, or vice versa?
I'm luckily bilingual wolf, so it's not really thinking of dividing it. It's always about the story that we want to tell and just translating into English or maybe Japanese. So no, that never bothered us. Yeah.
And you have 14 incredible tracks on this record. During the entire process of this recording process, did you find yourselves kind of being challenged with either a song in particular or a lyric in particular? And if so, what was it and why?
Maybe this album, we focus a lot on trying to express what we thought more directly that we've been doing during this decade. A lot of our items that we made during this decade, we had a solid message, we had a solid theme for it, but at the same time, try to make it a bit vague, obscure, a little bit. But this album, we really focused on trying to say what we wanted to say really directly to the people. So that was, kind of blushing at the same time, but it was really a new way to express ourselves, because always, if you want to write different stuff, you always have to focus on changing the process of what you make. So yeah, that was challenging.
What's it like kind of discovering the cadences that you guys are doing within each song that you create?
I guess it's really more direct, the message, it's really direct. It's probably kind of new for us. We've always focused on the message, the lyrics, to be someone else's story at the same time. But this album, it's probably more about us ourselves, really inner kind of stuff. So it's probably more about singing spontaneously, maybe. Yeah.
Over the weekend when I was listening to the record, my I had it on the speaker, and my brother heard "Merry Go Round," and instantly he was like, "You're watching My Hero Academia." He's a big fan of anime, and but it's one of those things where it's like you don't realize how big something is until somebody else points it out. So being that you were able to be part of a track for something like My Hero Academia, how did that impact the creative process for the band, and how do you feel like that impacted you as like gaining new fan base?
Me myself, I'm a huge fan of animation, Japanese manga, Japanese comic culture. So it was really a pleasure for us taking part in that kind of huge project. And I was also aware, I really know that animation is really huge overseas too. So yeah, it was a great opportunity for us, and challenging as well, because I know a lot of people are expecting a good song for that kind of animation. So a lot of fun, but exciting as well.
And when it came to that song, did you guys already have that song in the books, and then My Hero Academia came and wanted to bring you along to making it the theme song, or was this something that you guys created specifically?
We really wrote that song for that animation, and
That's amazing.
yeah, the whole song, the lyrics, the story of it is really lining to, especially the hero. Is he called Deku in America too? The hero.
I believe so. That name does sound familiar. I haven't watched
Oh,
it, but
yeah,
it does sound
yeah.
familiar.
The lyrics really are expressing what we think, that what he might think. So really aligning to that animation, the song itself.
And how different is it as a songwriter being able to write for like a soundtrack like that? Did you guys discover new ways of recording or writing because you were writing this for a particular film or series?
Actually, it's always it stimulates our imagination a lot. Usually when we write songs, it all comes from us. It all comes from a really experience that one person has. Well, one wolf has. But whenever you're writing a song for like animation, the story itself helps a lot. We can also express about ourselves, but also what we think about the story. So it kind of makes the chemistry more beautiful.
I also loved on this record, you got to work with Patrick Stump once again for 86 missed calls. It's been a few years since the last time that you worked with him for Dead End in Tokyo. So how different was that chemistry between you and Patrick during the writing process? And what do you feel like he taught you as a songwriter?
Actually, that song was made almost at the same time when we wrote Dead End in Tokyo.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, when we wrote those two songs, he really focused on the lyrics, writing the lyrics. That he started to kind of counsel us, so, talk about what kind of ideology that you guys have, what kind of philosophy that you guys have. That was a pretty weird moment, but it really made sense, because I believe that he was trying to make us write down words that really come from us, really spontaneously come from us. So that really made a lot of sense. And that's probably why those two songs are really, powerful by the lyrics. And yeah, it was really a great moment working with, one of the greatest bands in history.
And you said you guys kind of wrote it around the same time as Dead End in Tokyo. That was around 2016, 2017. So what was it about that song that, one, you knew it was going to come out someday, but what was it about that song that you wanted it to come out now instead of back then?
We never had a chance. We did release that song for a coupling for single, but we wanted, as this album is actually kind of celebration for us too, during this decade. So we wanted to re-record it, actually put it on this huge album, this two-item album. Yeah.
How different is the second album that due out hopefully later this year?
I believe that this kind of interview is so far, a lot of people like you guys are giving a really great credit that we really, really appreciate. And at the same time, giving us a lot of pressure that we have to make a better one coming up. But we're working on it right now. And I believe it it holds the same message that we have we really want to include it on this album, these two albums that the entire world is right now facing a pretty severe problem right now, but we have to keep on going. But I mean, a lot of things are going on, but they should never break the bottom soul that you have in yourself. That common message will still go on in the second one, and hopefully it become a more powerful one than the first one.
Lastly, to close us off, what are you most proud of this album, part one?
I guess I'm really proud of what we've done. Really, we never really focus on what's going on in the world whenever we make our albums. I always wanted to make a song that doesn't get influenced by what's going on all over the world. But at this moment, it was such a pretty, severe was going on, and I never thought that putting in a message that really not even not putting in a message that's really on time would influence our songs this much. But I'm really proud that it came out to be something that's really powerful. Maybe enlightens somebody's everyday life even during this situation.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations with the success. I mean, the decade of being in a band and being able to create and release your music. And congratulations with this new album. And I can't wait to see what this album is like on a live show. Because like I said, you feel that live aspect, that anthemic aspect while you're listening to it. So congratulations with that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I really hope to see you guys in the States in front.